Greetings, everyone. It's Janine here again. It's been a long time since I've seen you. I think the last time we spoke was March the 2nd, and a lot has happened. Today is the 14th of April, so it's been 6 weeks since we last spoke together. I hope everyone's doing well. Just as a refresher, I have been diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, and my first video discusses how I dealt with that and that diagnosis. Since that time, a lot has changed. In my first video, I was living in Raleigh, staying with my daughter and receiving treatment from Duke University. It was wonderful treatment. However, there is a clinical trial that I'm interested in, and it is at Vanderbilt University. So my twin sister Jamie lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and she has invited me to live with her and explore the options of getting into a clinical trial at Vanderbilt. So that's where I am now. That move happened, let's see, when did I move here? I've had 2 treatments of chemo, so it's been about the end of March, I'd say. The last week of March is when she came and picked me up. So I'm very blessed to have a caring family. They also send me different podcasts to review. That keeps me pretty busy. But I just wanted to update you and let you know so you can know how to prepare if you ever have this diagnosis of triple negative breast cancer. I think it's helpful to me to see other people that have gone through it. And first of all, you may have noticed my hair. After my second treatment of chemo, my hair started to fall out a lot. And so one of the things Vanderbilt advised is to go ahead and get your wig and go ahead and get everything ready, because once you get into the chemo and you're in a routine, you don't want to have to be worrying about your hair bothering you, falling out in your pillow, things like that. So I went ahead, since it was falling out in clumps, I went ahead and had it shaved, and then I went and made a wig appointment, and my wig should be here in a few weeks. Unfortunately, I don't think my insurance, which is Medicare A and B and D, I don't think it's going to cover anything. But here in Franklin, Tennessee, there's a Pretty in Pink wig shop, and it's by appointment only, and they help you decide what color and what style, and then they order the wig, and then you come back in a few weeks and you pick it up and they fit it for you. So that's one major difference I'm sure you noticed right away. In the meantime, I've ordered several of these colorful little caps that I can wear with my clothes. Sometimes I tie a little scarf around them and sometimes I don't. But they're very comfortable and keep my head warm. So I like them a lot. And it looks better too than just not having anything. So since we last spoke, I had to have some more scans done to get more specifics of how much my cancer has spread. One of the things that was ordered was a mammogram with dye, and another thing that was ordered was a bronchoscopy, because the lymph nodes that showed up on my chest scan showed that there was some lymph nodes on my lungs. So the bronchoscopy was one step further to determine if those suspicious areas were cancerous or not. So that was done on 2/27. The bronchoscopy was on March 6th, and I got the results a week later. The results showed that, yes, it was lung cancer that had metastasized to the lungs. Also, I found from some more testing, my doctor at Duke told me that I am PD-L1 negative. And I'm not sure if you know what PD-L1 is, but it is, I believe, PD-L1 is something that's needed if you're going to get Keytruda. So the Keytruda attaches to the PD-L1 on your cancer cells, and that is the doorway for the Keytruda to enter the cell and destroy it. I do not have PD-L1, I mean. So this diagnosis was concerning for me to know that it had spread. And she actually went from stage 3 and said, now I'm stage 4 with metastatic lung cancer that's uncurable, and I will be on chemo for life. So I was kind of concerned about the terminology that I was hearing and what it really meant. My sister went back and discussed it in more detail with her when I was getting my chemo as well, just to verify why she was using the terminology uncurable, metastatic. What did that really mean? Come to find out that when an oncologist uses the phrase metastatic, what they really mean is that it's at the blood cellular level now, and that they have no way of treating that effectively. So they cannot promise that they can get rid of it. So that's just their way of describing how to treat cancer. That's the way I understand it. I could be totally wrong, but I had heard that several times, and I knew I wasn't grasping what they were trying to tell me, so I did some research on that and found out that it really means that it's at a blood level, cellular level, and the chemotherapy, it can affect the tumors, and it can affect the chest wall and the lungs and the brain, but they can't guarantee that it can get to the cellular level, is what I think that meant. So we began doing some more research about options we might have, and I'll talk more about that on another video. I don't want this video to be too long, because if you're like me, you probably get tired in the middle of listening to a long video. So I am here in Vanderbilt. I'm here in Tennessee now with my sister Jamie, and my big sister Stacy lives downstairs, so she's very good at research, and she helps me read these articles and study them and listen to the podcasts. And we've come upon some interesting information that we want to share with you eventually. So I came here, and at Vanderbilt, my new oncologist decided that she did not want to do 2 chemos, just one. She didn't want to do the Taxol and the carboplatin. Excuse me while I get rid of that phone call. She just wanted to do the Taxol, and she stated that the carboplatin would be too much on my body, especially since we're going to be getting it for a lifetime, and that my bone marrow would not be able to handle it. So I'm no longer getting 2 chemos. With my chemo sessions, I'm only getting 1, and that's the Taxol. Secondly, I began having headaches and neck aches when I lay down at night, and no one had ever tested a neck or above to see if anything had spread up there. So she ordered an MRI of the brain, and she did a CT scan of the neck. And the results came back, and it showed scattered lesions on the outside of my skull, of brain mets to my skull, but not inside the brain, so it's on the outer part of the brain. And the lymph nodes in my neck, however, had gone down, which that was very good to know. So we had some good news and some not so good news. It's kind of hard to say if the chemo is going to be effective. She thinks it will be effective with the brain lesions. So before I sign off, I want to leave you with one thought, and that is there's a lot of alternative therapies besides chemo, but before you go there, you have to understand why you have this diagnosis. And for a long time, I was thinking, well, maybe it was my diet. However, since that time, about a month ago, the term turbo cancer has risen in my vocabulary, and you might want to study what that means. If you went to Wikipedia, the term turbo cancer is defined as a conspiracy theory by Wikipedia. It is considered an anti-vaccination conspiracy theory alleging that people vaccinated against COVID-19, especially with the mRNA vaccine, are suffering a high incidence of fast-delivering cancers. However, if you are open and you see the doctors and the microbiologists that have studied this, it does start to kind of make one wonder. People are presenting with full-blown stage 3 and stage 4 cancers that were normally healthy people, and this is after receiving the mRNA vaccine. So understanding vaccines is important, I think, for anyone who's taken one. Understanding the difference between an mRNA vaccine and a regular vaccine is important. So in my next video, I hope to talk about turbo cancer and mRNA vaccines, but not only that, also about some alternative treatments that even Stanford has studied to show to be very effective with the anti-parasitic drugs. So I look forward to talking to you soon. If you have time, please go ahead and study up on turbo cancers, anti-parasitic drugs, and the mRNA vaccine. So this is Janine Draffin saying goodbye, and please click like, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. God bless you, and I'm praying for you.